I agree. All right. Who do you want to talk to next?
Let's see. Let's talk with Aiden. Aiden's been waiting up for a while.
Sure. Aiden in Massachusetts. You're talking to Eric and V. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing good.
Really good.
I'm really happy to be on the air.
Oh, we're glad. What did you want to talk about today?
All right. So I'm an atheist. I wanted to challenge myself to to talk to people who I disagree with. So to that end, I am going to be reading a Christian apologetics book with a friend of mine who is an evangelical Christian.
Interesting.
And I would like some tips from you on how to do that productively and respectfully.
Sure.
Yeah. Do you mind me asking which book it is?
It is The Case for Christ by Lee Strobel.
Okay.
So
you read it?
I have. What's funny is I picked that up on my way out of religion. So The Case for Christ. The first thing that you need to do is you need to make sure that you understand what this other person wants to do. If all they want to do is evangelize to you and not be open to talking about it, then I think it's a waste of time unless you just want to brush up on your apologetics. But if the intent is to talk to this person and really have those in-depth conversations, make sure that they know that that's what you're wanting and, you get that out of the way first, because it would suck to read that entire freaking book to have the person you read it with not willing to talk to you about it.
Right.
Okay. It was actually my idea to read it, so I'm hopeful. It was my idea to try to engage, and it was his idea to recommend the book. So hopefully we're both coming at it honestly and enthusiastically.
Okay. I would, as a general practice, I think that it's probably best to avoid answering questions in the moment unless you know exactly where you're going to go with it. That's a very common evangelical tactic. I've used it. I've had it used on me, where they'll try and back you into a corner and get you to answer right away. It's totally okay to be like, oh, let me write this down. I'll do research and get back to you. That's scary for them because they don't want, it's the Gish Gallop. It's the ask as many questions and say as many things as possible so that you don't get fact checked on any of them. And you can slide things through that way. So come with a notepad, like a legal pad, and just be writing questions down, say, I'll get back to you on these. So I would also just say, if you know the book, if you know the author, and you are going to get to know them both very well, unfortunately for you, I would do some research online and look at some other atheists talking about this particular book and this particular apologist, because that could also give you just kind of a perspective going in that will help you understand where Lee Strobel is coming from too. Because I think there are going to be three people in this conversation, right? There's going to be you, there's an apologetic, this evangelical friend of yours, and then the author of the book you're both reading. So understanding where he's coming from too is going to be helpful when communicating between you guys.
Right. Okay.
Definitely.
And do you have any advice for my friend if I can get him to watch the show?
Sure. So Aiden's friend.
John.
Doug?
John.
Don. Or John.
John. Hi, John.
Eventually I'm going to get there. Hi, John. Thank you for watching the show. So what I want to tell both of you is that you can both be honest and open and still not understand where the other person is coming from. And that does not just have to do with the apologetics. If you are saying you're going to sit and read this book together, one person might think, okay, we're just going to read it. And the other person might think, okay, we're going to study it, or, this is open to being talked about. And that's not open to being talked about. Make sure that both of you are very clear on what you're going to do with this. Because I have read way too many books that were given to me that they did not want to talk about, that they shut the door on having a discourse. And that doesn't make them dishonest. It makes them different than you. And that's okay. But making sure that you're on the same page starting out can save a lot of heartache.
All right. Well, hopefully he hears that. Thank you very much for taking my call.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Best of luck. Call back. Let us know how it goes.
Yes.
I will.
All right.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. As far as the arguments made in the book
That's
are
a
concerned,
whole other topic.
I think the one that strikes me as the most egregious is the die for a lie.
Oh
Argument?
my goodness. That needs to die.
And honestly, I think that I would push apologists to really take that out of their repertoire because
Oh yeah, no, it's not helping you.
no.
It is not helping you.
So somebody believing something fervently does not make that thing true. And so that somebody was willing to die for a thing does not make their cause true.
You've just validated every single martyr of every single religion at once, which is untenable.
And so, then it said, well, they said that they saw it personally with their own eyes. So are you saying that those are the only people that that's happened to? And let's even grant that. If those were the only people that that's happened to, does it logically follow that because they believed it, it was true? No. There are other arguments to make. That one is not a good one.